I'm shocked at his content. The things that Shannon has said now or did now, I would never believe that Shannon would say or do any of these things.
Like what?
Simply, I take drinking. Shannon, in my entire career, I've never saw Shannon with a drink. Ever. Like it was against the law, right? Because he had some stuff in his family that he didn't want to follow that.
You know, normally people grow up and they stop drinking. As you get older, not only are the hangovers significantly worse, you also realize that drinking is a complete waste of your time. You're literally consuming poison. Why do I want to consume something that's going to make me sick? Last Friday night, I met my friends at happy hour for the first time in a while. Once I quit drinking early last summer, there was really no point in going to the bar. I mean, you only go to the bar for one reason. It would be like bringing a baseball bat to a golf course. I go to the bar last weekend. I had one beer and one shot in 2.5 hours. Now, for me, that used to be my appetizer. I would finish a beer and a shot in the first 10 minutes. One beer, one shot, over 2 hours. And I had a headache for the rest of the night. I woke up Saturday morning and I just felt off. I wouldn't call it a hangover, but I didn't feel like myself. Normally, when I wake up in the morning, I'm singing in the shower. I'm entertaining the shampoo and conditioner with an unbelievable vocal performance. Once my set is over, the faucet is asking for an encore. When I woke up last Saturday morning, I didn't feel like doing a damn thing. It was an instant reminder of why I quit drinking to begin with. We went and saw a tribute band last night. The only thing I drank was water. For most people, as you get older, the booze becomes less and less appealing. Unless, of course, you're Shannon Sharpe. Hey, it's me, Shay Shay. The grown man who calls himself Shay is a prime example of an older dude who is desperately trying to fit in with the cool kids. Now, to his credit, Shannon Sharpe has built a nice career for himself. He's been fired from every job that he's ever had in the mainstream media, but he doesn't need the media because the man who created a nickname that rhymes with gay established his own platform. But what did it take for him to get here? What did Shannon Sharpe have to do to get to this point? There is this misconception that Shannon Sharpe was a huge star while he was married to Skip Bayless at FS1. That could not be further from the truth. If you believe the insinuations made by Ray Lewis, it sounds like Shannon Sharpe sold his soul, or sold out his personal values, whatever the hell you want to call it. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. I don't know Shay Shay personally. I don't associate myself with grown men who give themselves feminine nicknames. What I do know is Shannon Sharpe had to destroy someone else's media career to establish his own. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel in the description below. Today on the second channel, I'm going to be talking about the disastrous debut of Arch Manning. If Mina Kimes pretended to analyze college football like she pretends to analyze the NFL, she would tell you that Arch Manning had a decent game yesterday. Pretend analysts, they like to focus on stats. They base their opinions on fantasy numbers. Keyword, fantasy, which means it's not real. Statistically, Arch Manning had a somewhat decent game yesterday. He had somewhat decent numbers. But if you actually watched the game, you know this was a disastrous debut for Cooper's baby boy. We'll talk about it later today, so click the link in the description below, subscribe to the second channel. Like I said, there is this misconception that Shannon Sharpe was a big star at FS1. The truth is, Undisputed consistently struggled to draw ratings, and they damn sure struggled once the show became known as Undisputedly Woke. Contrary to the belief of Shay's lonely male followers, Skip Bayless, hey, it's me, Skippy B! Skip Bayless was the star of the show. Matter of fact, Skip Bayless was the reason that Shannon Sharpe was given a role as a supporting cast member. He had been fired by CBS. He couldn't find a job in the media. Skippy was the only one that was willing to work with him. Just like he did with Stephen A. Smith years earlier, Skip Bayless resurrected the media career of Shannon Sharpe. The problem is, the ego of Shannon Sharpe, it would not allow him to be perceived as a supporting cast member. Shay thought he was a star. Shay thought he and Skippy were equal partners in this marriage. He thought he was part of a democracy when he was partnered with a dictator. It's similar to what we see with Angel Reese in the WNBA dump. Like Shannon Sharpe, Angel Reese gives herself a variety of doofus nicknames. She has more aliases than a high-level mobster. Angel Reese wants to be perceived as a star. She wants people to think that she is the reason for the elevation of this toxic turd, when the reality is, Angel Reese is a supporting cast member, and if she doesn't start winning, she will be an extra. Shannon Sharpe did not become a star until he cast himself as the ultimate victim. One morning, Skippy and Shay, they were having a lover's quarrel on national television. They were arguing about Tom Brady. Two grown men. They were passionately arguing over another dude. If I remember correctly, Skippy was expressing his undying love towards Tommy. Tom is so dreamy. He is my goat. Shannon Sharpe was probably pissed off because the white man was being recognized. Just like he does in the NBA where he pretends LeBron James is the greatest, I'm sure Shannon Sharpe was trying to claim that Anthony Richardson was the best quarterback the NFL's ever seen. But all kidding aside, the argument became personal. Shannon Sharpe got in his feelings and had an emotional meltdown. Skippy, why are you so mad? I want you to understand that I'll always be your biggest fan. The clip went viral on social media, and Shannon Sharpe was instantly portrayed as the ultimate victim. He was perceived as being oppressed by the evil white oppressor. Several weeks later, Damar Hamlin collapsed on Monday Night Football. Shannon Sharpe refused to come to work the next day. He was pretending to be emotionally distraught over comments that Skip Bayless had made on Twitter the night before. Once again, Shay was portrayed as the victim, and this is the point where his career began to take off. He was eventually fired from FS1. Stephen A. Smith gets him a job at ESPN. They go on a rampage where they destroy the media career of Skip Bayless, and 2 years later, Stephen A. gets burned by Shannon Sharpe. He vouches for Captain Doofus, and Shannon Sharpe ends up getting fired by ESPN. The point is, Shannon Sharpe destroyed the career of Skip Bayless to elevate his own. According to Ray Lewis, that is not the only sacrifice Shay made to elevate his own career. He also sacrificed his own values. Earlier this week, Ray Lewis was the guest with Patrick Bet-David. If you've never watched Patrick Bet-David before, I highly recommend it. He and his team, they do great work. But Patrick Bet-David is speaking with Ray Lewis, and they start talking about Shannon Sharpe. For those that don't know, Ray and Shay were teammates in Baltimore when the Ravens won the Super Bowl. I think it was in 2000. Shannon Sharpe actually came to the defense of Ray Lewis when he was on trial in Atlanta for murder. Unfortunately, Ray Lewis no longer recognizes the Shannon Sharpe that defended him 25 years ago. Ray Lewis doesn't recognize this fabricated character who refers to himself as Shay Shay. Watch for yourself.
We kind of went our own separate ways because I'm like, you're going to take that route. I can't go that route. And that route is to become so worldly that you become popular because you're talking about ignorance. Right, a lot of times, a lot of these gossip conversations that they're having and bringing up all this stuff, I'm not going to do that to nobody. I'm not in the business for that. I'm in life to try to teach people what does it mean to be a better man or get back to the kingdom. Everybody wants the follower. Everybody wants to be popular. Everybody wants to make money. But that's a tight rope into what you call influence and popularity. Right? The devil has the ability to make you popular. God has the ability to give you influence that when people see you, they see an image of him. And that's the thing for me that started to switch with not just Shannon, but just a couple of people. I'm like, wow, you would switch out like that?
What I'm gathering from these comments, Ray Lewis is basically saying that Shannon Sharpe sold out. Seems like Ray Lewis is saying that Shannon Sharpe is perpetrating negative stereotypes. Basically, Ray Lewis is saying that Shannon Sharpe is inauthentic, which isn't that big of a stretch because most people in the mainstream media are inauthentic. It's one of the reasons the mainstream media is struggling. One of the reasons CNN, MSNBC can't draw flies to a fresh turd. People aren't watching because they know what they're seeing isn't real. Like I said, I don't know Shannon Sharpe personally, but Ray Lewis does. I know he destroyed the career of Skip Bayless to elevate his own career, but I don't know if he sacrificed his personal values to appear to be something that he's not, or he sacrificed his personal values to become something that he didn't want to be. That being said, even though I can't confirm it personally, I believe Ray Lewis. For starters, Ray Lewis has nothing to gain here. To my knowledge, he doesn't have a podcast. He's not trying to build an audience by taking down Shannon Sharpe. Ray Lewis is being the one thing that Shannon Sharpe is not. Ray Lewis is being real. But the main reason I believe Ray Lewis, if you're willing to sacrifice someone else to elevate yourself, if you're willing to betray the one person who believed in you, the one person who gave you a chance when no one else was willing to work with you, if you're willing to betray him, then you're willing to do damn near anything. People like that can't be trusted. And I'm willing to bet that's one of the reasons that Ray Lewis distanced himself from Shannon Sharpe. Why would you want to be associated with or be around someone that you can't trust? Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.